this video, we're going to show you how to do some cryptography. So we're going to do the famous railfence code, which your kids may learn about in school. So how does the railfence code work? Let's suppose you have a message. Careful, you are being followed. What you do is you take out the spaces, and then you'd have something like this. We'll go through all the steps in a minute. And then you put the odd numbered characters in one row, like C, R, F, L, etc. You put the even numbered characters in the next row. That would be A, E, etc. And you do it in alternate columns, so it sort of look like a rail fence if you could basically fill this in with a fencing. And then what you do to create the code that you would send to your friends would be basically put together all the odd number characters first. So you'd go C, R, F, L, O, A, etc. And then follow that by all the even numbered characters, A, E, U, whatever. And that would be what you would send to people. And that would be your code. Okay, so how can we do this in Excel? We start with our message. We need to get rid of the spaces, so how do we do that? We would use the substitute function that we've learned about in the text function lesson. Replace every blank by a non-blank space. So that takes out all the spaces. We substitute for a space, basically empty character, which means no space. And then we count how many characters we have. So we do LEN, we know, 26 characters. Okay, now we set up the numbers 1 through 26. You could actually make this a table if you want. Set it up to maybe handle 100 characters or whatever. Okay, now how do we put the C, the R, etc., the C, the R, etc., the F in one row, and the even numbered characters, okay, which would be the A, the E, etc., in the next row? Well, we can use a function called isOdd. We've done the mod function to pick out odd and even numbers, but there's a function isOdd that will tell you basically, do you have an odd or even number? So isOdd3 will say true, and isOdd4 will say false. And then there's an even function that does basically the same thing. If I would say equal is even 2, it's going to say true. And equal is even 3 is going to say false. Okay, so how do we use that? Well, we combine our knowledge of if statements, which is why this video is in the if statement lesson. Okay, so we say if isOdd is true for what's in this column, the 1, 2 through 26, we're going to put something there. What do we put there? We use the mid function. We're always going to be picking stuff from cell F11, which is our message without the spaces. And then basically we would start here at the first character. With character 1, we'll always go one space. Then we'd start with character 2, but since the isOdd kills that off, there'll be nothing there. But then right here, for example, when we copy that across, it says isOdd3, which is odd. So we'd go to this cell and we'd pick off the third character. So you copy that across, you get the odd numbered characters in row 15. Similarly, you get the even numbered characters in row 16. So you start with this. If you have an even number in basically the same column, okay, row 14, then you pull, basically, in this case, you'd pull the first character. You won't because 1 is not even. But then here, when you copy this across, okay, is even would be true because 2 is even. So you start at the second character, go one character and pull that, which would give you your A. Copy that across. Okay, so now how do we put this together so we have the characters in row 15 as the first part of our coded message and the characters in row 16 as the second part? Okay, well, we copy the first character from row 15, and here we copy the first character from row 16, which will be nothing basically. But then here's the key. How do we sort of combine this stuff? Well, we sort of build it up step by step, one step at a time, like Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, so in other words, we would take what we have so far, okay, that's going to be in row 18, the column to the left, and then we'd add the new character. Now see, in this situation, we don't add anything to the C because there's a blank there, but then we add the R, then we add nothing, then we add the F, then we add nothing, then we add the L. And when we get to the end there, we've got our odd characters there, okay, showing the formula there. And then for the even numbered characters, we do the same thing. So we'd start here, we're going to get nothing, that's fine. Then we concatenate what we had so far, okay, in row 19 with the new character, which is the A here. and then we keep building that up. So basically, this will be the even numbered characters, and okay. So we have the odd numbered characters here in AD 18, and the even numbered characters in AD 19. So what we can do to create the final code is we just concatenate those, and we're done. Now your friend knows basically we're using this RAILFENCE code, so it's really pretty simple for them to figure it out. So basically, they would basically get the C here, then they would get the A, then the R, then the E. So they take the first character, and they would take the 14th character. We could put in the decoding mechanism once you get the coded message, but I think we'll leave it there. So we've used a lot of stuff here. We use the if function, the is-odd function, the is-even function, the mid function, the len, and the concatenate function, basically to create the RAILFENCE code. And I think we'll have a couple of other videos on codes, because I think A, it's interesting, and B, it shows you the power of what we've learned in Excel.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and there's a free course, a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, and all of these videos are coming from one of 3 books. So first, this one, which you can see here at the top of the screen, Microsoft's book, which has 355 reviews, and then it's, let's see, 4.6 stars. It's coming from this book as well, his marketing analytics book, which is down here, and you can sort of see 4.5, or his newest book, his analytics stories book, which is here. And with that one, you can see it's 4 point something, or maybe even 5. I don't think it's 5. Yeah, 4.8. And so yeah, anyways, in the description, there's a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, or you can go to excelwithwayne.com/free, and it'll be there. But again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just please let us know. Thanks.